be refreshing our old program like that. So remember, we built a guessing game last tutorial, and today we're going to be like refactoring that program and putting it in another file and adding some other things to make it run easier. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm in my project team. Here I can just click on here, and I have this pane. Not pane, but you get the point. So I could click on new, and then I would click on Python file. And I'll call this file let's just call this a random game. Random guessing game. I'm like calling it random game. Guessing game. And just click on Python file. After you do that, there should be a file that pops up on the left, and there should be some empty space on your screen. If clicking Python file doesn't work, just hit the Enter key. That should create a new file where you can just go into main.py where you have your old code, hit A, Control A, and then hit Control X. And paste that code over here. What'll happen is all of the code we wrote to create our guessing game will be here, and we can use this code. Now we need to have a little. We need to set up something to make our file run easier. So what we can do is click on this arrow, and then click on Edit Configurations. If you guys have the newest version of PyCharm, there's just going to be an option called Current File. But if you already installed Python and it's an older version, like the version I'm running, or before, it's going to be easier. You can just click on Edit Configurations, and again, people with people with the newest version won't see this. Just hit the plus button, hit Python, and then it'll ask you for the script path. And for the script path, you can just click on this, and you can click on whatever you named your folder. In my case, it's Python tutorial series, and just click on guessinggame.py. Hit OK, and then hit apply, and then you can close it. Now you have the option to run this file with ease. So now you don't have to open your terminal and write like Python guessinggame.py, because that would just be over complicated. Okay, so today we're going to be building a simple application which can tell you if a number is odd or even. It's going to be pretty simple, and we'll be using an operator. If you can guess the operator, be sure to comment it below before I actually tell you. So the operator we will be using is called a modulo operator. And this operator we can define by using a percentage symbol. So what I can do is create a variable. So suppose I'm just going to get something from the user. I'm going to have you guys can also comment down this. We're going to have to get input from the user. So we have to get, like, I would say number. And then we need to concatenate the number to an integer. And then we need to put input after that. Some parentheses. And now the number we're entering is forced to be an int. Enter a prompt. So please enter a number. And now we're gonna hit colon and space. And now, secondly, what we need to do is if whatever number we enter, so suppose this number, we say our number, and then we do our modulo. Now let's discuss a little bit about what the modulo operator does. The modulo operator is an operator which gives you the remainder of such numbers. So if you divided 10 by 2, the remainder would obviously be nothing. But on the other hand, if you divided 7 by 2, the remainder would be 1, which indicates that the number is an odd number. So we can use our modulo operator, and we can say whichever number we enter, we want to divide it by 2 and see if we have a remainder or not. And you could say if this number is equal to like 1, then just give the user some information saying your number is odd. And now after that, we want to create an else statement and be sure to have indentation in this line. Be sure to have indentation in this line, not this line. Or else it's gonna think you have an if inside this, which we will get an error. Anyways. And then now you have to hit enter. And there's a shortcut for adding indentation, for removing indentation. So suppose I indented this too much, I can use shift and tab to take it back, like that. And if we have entered an even number, we can just print the number saying it's even. So print, I have to print even. Your number is even. After that, we can run this, which it'll ask us to enter a number. Suppose I enter like 10. It'll divide the number by 2 and give me a result. So suppose I enter 10. It says my number is even. And now if I enter like 10, if I enter like 7, your number is odd. And this can also check based on anything. Suppose I want to create a calculator. You can use this for calculators to calculate remainders. If you want to, when you're doing a division one, you can add an option for division with remainders, and then just put the number we divided by, like the answer to the division problem, and then after that we could put the remainder. And yeah. So now that we're done with this, it was pretty simple. We can, for now, let's just create a file for it. So let me just do that. Python file. We're just gonna call this is odd, and we're just gonna copy paste the code. Done. Now you can stop executing the code. I wanted to show you guys how functions work today. So there's a function is technically a block of code. And this block of code is programmed to execute a couple of values. Like, suppose I did this. I created a function. So first of all, we need to focus on what the syntax is to create a function. The syntax is actually pretty simple. All we need to do is we need to write def, def. After that, a function name. So I put, let's say, and as variables, this can also not have a number before it, which makes sense because it'll concatenate that number to an integer, which will be a problem. And also, like variables, the only special characters in function you can use is an underscore. So we're just going to call this greet. Each function takes a pair of arguments, which can be passed in this array, in this pair of parentheses. So, like arrays, there's another thing called tuples. A tuple is an array which cannot be changed. In other words, it's immutable. So in the pair of arguments I'm going to pass, I'm going to ask the user for his name. Okay? And we can use our formatted strings. And if you don't know what a formatted string is, it's basically a string, but you can enter some interpolated values. So like if you have a tendency of changing a pair of values, like if you have a score, then the score is obviously going to change based on the user's input. So that's why you can use formatted strings to return some interpolated value. So in the formatted string, all we need to do is we need to, in here, we need to put some value. Suppose I put hello. Oh god. Hello. And then I'll put a comma, and then I'll put my user's name. The way we do that is put a bracket, a pair of brackets, and we can put our name. Next, what we want to do is we can use our greet function, greet, and give it a name. So suppose I entered code with awesome. Hit run. It says hello code with awesome, and it greets you. Pretty simple. But a function gets advanced. You can also use this and put a star before it. A star means you can pass multiple names. So we can use this. So we can just first of all just print hello, move the F, and then we can say for each name, for I in range of however many names we passed. So what we can do is do the length of names, and it would make more sense to call this names now since we get more than one. I'm going to go to the end of the line, put some S, do that, hit enter. In here, I want to add some code saying, I want to greet, just saying like all of the users' names. Arrays have an object, a thing called indexing, and usually indexing starts from 0. Indexing lets you access values based on their number. So you can access a value at 0. In computer, it would be 0, but to us, it'll be 1. That's why you need to enter a nice format for the user. So, what we can do is we can print this. We'll do a formatted string. We'll put the number, whatever we have, and remember, a user does not want our numberings from 0. He wants it from 1. So we'll say I plus 1, put a dot, and now we need our name. So how we do that is we do names at the index of I, which will give us all of our names. And now we can give it more than one name. Like, I can enter, after this I'll put a comma, and I'll put, and I'll put John, and I'll put Elon Musk. I don't know, just some random values. And then if I run this, I'll say, hello, code with Azam, and it'll say number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And that's it for me. Take care of yourself.